One of the busiest exits on 91 at the interchange is closed. I'm Joe Monte. I'll tell you which one coming up in just a few minutes.
And it's time to get those jazz hands ready as the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz gets underway today. I'll have the latest on what you need to know coming up.
Good Friday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 61. I'm Bridget Bjorlo. Much less eerie skies out there this morning as the smoke begins to dissipate. Let's send it outside to Rachel Piscatelli. Rachel, good morning.
Now, let's go outside to the New England Patio and Hearth Outdoor Studio.
Bridget, good morning. It definitely feels, looks, and smells a lot better this morning, although we're not out of the woods just yet. A little bit of haze still muting our sunshine this morning as that sun continues to come up here in the 6 o'clock hour. But the good news is we are trending in the right direction for air quality today. So as you step out the door this morning, some observations are still being reported as unhealthy for some. But over time today, we've moved the needle up towards that moderate for air quality, which is certainly some good news as we head through the afternoon and into the evening. Unfortunately, though, that smoke is expected to fill our skies tonight into tomorrow again. Right now, though, it feels great outside. I am thoroughly enjoying being out here. 58 degrees right now in Willimantic, 62 right here in the capital, 64 degrees in Chester, and 60 degrees in New Milford, and there is a slight breeze this morning as well. We are looking at sun and clouds this afternoon. It's not going to be as hazy, but it may take on that milky look at times, but definitely not as thick. We will be able to see the sun, and we will be able to see any cloud coverage that moves in today as temperatures move into the low to mid 80s this afternoon. Into the evening, temperatures sliding to around 70. We are going to build in the humidity over time tonight into tomorrow. In addition to that, the smoke is likely going to move in tonight. So first thing tomorrow morning, you may notice that haziness in the sky, smoky start to our Saturday, and then we are tracking some changes. A round of steady and heavy rain is likely at times after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon through about 11. So while it won't be raining that whole time, there is an opportunity for some spotty storms in the afternoon, and then a better opportunity after about 5 through 10 o'clock for some stronger storms, and most of the state is under a level 2 risk for severe weather for that reason. After that, we will have better conditions that build in for our Sunday, which is certainly nice to see as we head into this upcoming weekend. We'll talk more about your weekend in full forecast coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads this morning, various road work still out there now. A lot of it has wrapped up, so we are seeing less cones on our map this morning. But Route 2 westbound between exit 26 and 20, as well as the eastbound side, still dealing with a little bit of road work. There is a large stretch of Route 2 that is dealing with that, with intermittent lane closures across the area. Rocky Hill to Hartford is around 6 minutes. 91 south, Cromwell to New Haven is 24. It looks like a lot of the road work has wrapped up along that front. And then on 91 to Orange, that's about 15 minutes. The Wilbur Cross at that northbound side actually has wrapped up in terms of the road work that was out there. We're reporting that at 5 o'clock. New Haven to Bridgeport is around 22. Over to you.
Rachel, thanks. 6:03 now. As of Thursday night, there is a major traffic change, I-91 northbound. One of the busiest exits connecting I-91 to another highway is closed permanently. Fox 61's Joe Monte is married in with more. Joe, this will require a change of routine for many drivers who take this route.
Yeah, that's right, Bridget. Good morning. Look, major changes coming to 91. This construction at the interchange has been going on for some time, but this is a big one. Exit 17 northbound is closed permanently as of last night and will be for some time. They're doing some work on the ramps. They're working to expand the ramp in particular so that there is less traffic, and we can tell you a little bit more about some of that work right now. Construction crews are working on these ramp improvements. They'll be putting in a 2-lane exit ramp with a left side merging lane onto Route 15. Again, that's to try to fix some of the traffic situation that goes on in this area, and drivers had dealt with that before the construction and now during the construction, so it's been quite a mess. But if you typically take exit 17, there are different routes you can take, and we can start by exit 16. That's one route that you can take. That same exit will put you onto 15. It'll also put you onto East Main Street if you keep right. So you got a couple of options there. You can also check out what options you may have by traveling on another highway like 84, and you can just avoid this area completely. Now, again, that does matter it's a complete change in location. You might have to get on the highway in a completely different area, so that may not work for everybody, but it's certainly an option you can explore. Some drivers understand that all of this construction is supposed to help them in the long run, but they're not happy with the traffic it's caused, or in the case of the people that live in the Meriden area near the interchange, they're not happy with the noise either. Take a listen.
We get off earlier on 91 coming north and get off earlier on 91 coming south, just because it's backed up both ways.
It gets congested, like in the middle of the day, like probably 2-ish to 5 or 6.
You hear the construction at night, and even during the day, if we have a pool, you go up by the pool, you can hear it. You know, the trucks up and down. But again, I think in the long run, it's going to be good.
And long run, certainly it will be. We can get to that in a minute, though. But it's just important to remember that when passing through a construction zone, to slow way down and be careful of the workers, machinery, cones, and barriers that are in the road. And also be ready for lane shifts and other changes you may not be used to or expect. And be careful of any possible speed cameras as well to avoid getting a ticket. And that long run that he mentioned certainly is the case. Construction here at the interchange isn't expected to be completed until 2030, so plenty of time left there. For now in Meriden, Joe Monti, Fox 61.
That is a long way, Joe. Thanks for telling us about it. Appreciate it. 6:06 now. The poor air quality is keeping people inside, leaving restaurants with outdoor seating a little emptier than usual. Not everyone is overly concerned, but some owners in the area say the smoky skies are putting a dark cloud over their businesses.
People are concerned with how yellow the sky has been, and they're a little concerned about eating outside with feeling the smoke in their lungs and stuff.
And a reminder, if you're staying outside for long periods during this time of poor air, doctors recommend wearing an N95 mask. What began as a community fundraiser ended with gunshots, injuries, and multiple arrests. 8 people are now charged after Wednesday night shooting outside the Country Western Barn and dance venue Cadillac Ranch. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has the latest from Southington and reaction from the community.
Well, what was supposed to be a night of giving back to the community turned into a chaotic moment for everyone at the Cadillac Ranch. Now, people I spoke with were hesitant to share their thoughts, but they said it was sad to see this happening at this iconic restaurant. A very different scene Thursday night in the parking lot of Cadillac Ranch compared to what we saw Wednesday night. That's when police say there was a shooting during what was intended to be a community-focused bike night. Instead, the evening ended in violence. Someone shot a 25-year-old man in the chest. Another person was also hurt after police say they were assaulted. James McDermott, Gerard McAfee, Philip Gugliotti, and Harley Woodbury are charged with that assault and face a judge Thursday. The Southington community expressed disappointment over the violence. People I spoke with, including Thomas Levin Saylor, described the incident as heartbreaking.
It's definitely saddening. Not even only for the act of violence. I mean, it's terrible that it happened, but it's also because it was just trying to raise money for a good cause for St. Jude's. It's heartbreaking.
We reached out to police for additional information, and the 4 people charged will appear in court on July 29th. In Southington, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
And that's the fundraiser was for St. Jude's. A routine propane delivery took an unexpected turn in New Fairfield yesterday. A truck somehow slid down a steep hill and ended up partially submerged in Candlewood Lake. Fox 61's Kayla Cade explains how it all happened and what crews had to do to get the truck out of the water.
What started as a simple home propane delivery ended with the truck sliding down Penny Lane and coming to rest in Candlewood Lake. The truck was carrying about 2,000 gallons of fuel at the time, but thankfully, none of it ended up in the water. This whole ordeal started just after 9:30 Thursday morning. This fuel truck was stuck inside the water for hours. New Fairfield's Fire Marshal Christopher Allward says the driver had just left the truck to connect the propane tank to the house when the truck started sliding down the hill and into the lake.
As you can see, there is a dock there which slowed the vehicle down, preventing it from going further into the lake.
Because the truck was so far away from the road, crews had to get crafty with how they were going to get the truck and the fuel out.
Bring in material, riprap, and gravel, build a ramp on the edge of the water, and then at that point they'll tow the vehicle out.
Neighbor Alexis Bansauter says the outcome of this incident could have been much worse.
This is crazy, absolute craziness. I mean, Yeah, this isn't something I think that happens every day anywhere, let alone here and right into a lake.
No one was hurt, and the propane truck was towed to a local tow company in Newtown. In New Fairfield, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
Well, this evening, one of the biggest summer staples is set to begin as the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz takes over Bushnell Park. Fox 61 Stephen Reels is out there right now with more on what's ahead. And this is a weekend-long event, Stephen, so if you can't get out there tonight, you have plenty more options.
Yeah, plenty more days ahead. This goes through Sunday, but we want to look ahead to what's happening tonight. Really, this whole festival, it's a pretty big one this year. They're celebrating 35 years, and a lot of people we've already spoken with have grown up on this festival. Some people have watched musicians perform on the stage, and now they will be performing on that same stage this weekend, and that includes a Jocelyn Pleasant, who's been coming to the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz since she was a teenager. Pleasant leads the band called The Lost Tribe, who takes some of their inspiration from West African culture. The group last took the stage in 2018, but they'll take the stage tonight for Hartford Night, which is all about celebrating the local talent and band leaders.
And we kind of have this melting pot of music that we play, and it's so just representative of this area. And so we're big on being able to represent our roots and who we are, and particularly this Hartford area.
Hartford Night kicks off tonight at Bushnell Park and starts at 6 p.m. with Michael Carabello, followed by The Lost Tribe, who you just heard from, at 8 p.m. and ending with Nelson Bello at 10. But this festival, like you said, has so many more musicians and days ahead. So we have a full artist breakdown on our website, fox61.com. So go over, check it out, see if one of your favorite artists is performing this weekend. But for now, live at Bushnell, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
All right, Stefan, looking forward to it. Thanks. 6:11 now and still ahead. A new trade dispute is heating up. Brazil is threatening retaliatory tariffs after the U.S. announced new import taxes on the country. We'll have the latest next.